And
Did you see the BYU Daily Universe thing?
No, what was that?
I'll just read you the article.
Okay.
So Daily Universe student paper puts out an article little over 24 hours ago. Says Utah women rally for reproductive rights and voter action.
Oh, what is that? I saw Greg Madsen go online about that.
So it's literally like the BYU student newspaper, official BYU logo and stuff.
What?
Talking about kind of giving like a glowing piece about quote unquote reproductive rights activists.
Get out of town. Look at this.
Yeah.
Here it is. The BYU Daily Universe. Utah women rally for, oh my gosh, I'm putting this up on the screen right now. We're making a video, dog. Look at this.
Do you have it up on X?
Well, I've got it up on the Daily Universe. Utah women rally for reproductive rights, voter action by Dagon Boos. I'm probably butchering that name. October 17th, 2024, Green Wave, Utah hosted a rally at Utah's Capitol Hill aiming to empower women to vote and stand for the rights of reproductive care. So are they just reporting on a rally that somebody else made, or are they advocating for it?
So the thing is, like, words matter. And what reproductive care means, and this is backed up by the doctrine of the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints, is killing your babies. So if you just replace the word with its actual definition, it starts to become suspect at the very least. Why in the world is this like written this way? You know, on a hot Saturday afternoon, taiko drums rang across the south side of Capitol. This is flowery language. This is meant to set a scene. This is meant to make this seem like some sort of cool thing that happened that we're telling you about because it was this awesome thing that happened at the Capitol. Did you hear about it? And then, yeah, it's totally just like women that got together that want everybody to be able to kill their babies.
Wow. Holy smoke, man. I'm looking at this. So
they have, if you look at the chick on like the third photo down.
Okay.
That's the Caroline Gleach, I think is how you pronounce her last name.
U.S.
So
Senate
she's the
nominee,
Democrat Senate candidate. So she's the one going up against John Curtis in the Senate. Not going to win, but if you go to like her X account, it's climate change and abortion. Just like climate change, abortion, climate change, abortion, climate change, abortion. And so they give her a cool like power pose picture. They said she gave an address inspired by Democrat presidential nominee and Vice President Kamala Harris. She led the group chanting, "We're not going back," to honor the generations of women who battled for the rights they now enjoy. Obviously referencing Roe v. Wade. I don't know how you could interpret that otherwise. That's definitely what they were talking about.
Okay, so I'm reading this, though. And it looks like they're reporting on a rally that Green Wave, Utah had on the steps of Capitol Hill and what was said. So this is a descriptive article, but I'm not seeing a prescriptive call to action. Are we reading into this?
No. Yeah. So this is how media works, because it's where you shift the Overton window.
Okay.
So in a report piece, you never editorialize. You just say what happened, but you can choose to say it in different ways. And so when you say rally for reproductive rights instead of killing babies, you're giving it a positive connotation.
Okay, well, wouldn't some people say that reproductive rights is the professional euphemism that we use, and that killing babies would be the editorializing?
No. Because that's no. Because this is not Vice. This is not Slate. This is a publication from.
Well, maybe what if this is
sponsored by the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
Okay, but how do we know?
The Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints teaches that abortion is either killing or like unto it.
Well, there is an entire
section. It's on the
section.
baptismal interview questions. Members are explicitly counseled to politically act against laws that are pro-abortion. So the language used here, for example, you could say at such and such debate, Donald Trump was impassionately said, they're killing the cats, they're killing the dogs. And then you go and you quote somebody else and say, I really appreciated that Donald Trump actually cares about people and not Kamala Harris. You haven't editorialized that at all. But that's a way different argument than saying Donald Trump pounded the lectern and said they're eating the cats, they're eating the dogs. But the mayor said that we have no reports of that. You're just reporting facts of like things people said and things that happened. But there's an obvious angle.
Okay, how do we not know that this isn't just some kind of overzealous, I finally got my first shot at an article in the Daily Universe, print journalism major, who's using the flowery language and using the robust descriptors
because they're trying to
flowery, show off.
Yeah, you can use flowery and show off language to put either connotation in it.
Okay, so here's also the other thing that's interesting is I look here and Greg Mattson, he's such a watchdog, dude. Like he's got like a little
Well, the thing
army.
was this went all over X. Yeah, so came out 5 days ago.
Okay.
But then the X account, because people don't really read the Daily Universe, but once the X account put it out, it might have even been Tommy Stevenson, my pal from Cougar Chronicle days, that saw this first and quote tweeted it. And so if you go to the actual X post about it, I don't know if you're there yet or not.
I am. I'm reading Connor Boyak's post on this.
Look at this.
Yeah.
Look at this. Look at this ratio. I haven't seen a ratio like this ever before.
Okay.
29 likes, 96 retweets and quote tweets. And then 329 comments.
Wow.
At least what appears for me, top comment is Dr. Manhatva, Ben Rogers. He said, words mean things. 476 likes.
Wow.
So 15 times higher than the original article. So the people of X, LDSX, are not being fooled by this. They're calling the universe out on this. And the crazy thing to me, and I actually just tweeted this a little bit ago, the insane thing to me is this has been up for 24 hours. And what did they do? They didn't say, oh yeah, we totally just kind of like condoned abortion or made it look cool to be a baby killing activist. Let's take that down. No, they didn't do that. Instead, they just blocked the comments.
Oh,
so they leave it up explicitly against the church's doctrine. And instead of taking it down, they just block the comments.
Wow. Holy smoke.
So this means that there isn't just one woke dude and an editor at the BYU universe that put this thing out. You know, they didn't have time enough to review it during the weekly meeting and they just put it out there. No, this is like the whole department probably knows about this now and they're not doing anything.
Wow. And you know, the interesting thing about this is they really are taking issue in the comments with the use of the terminology empowering. Apparently, that was just a huge touch point. Where did they say empowering? Where's the exact phrase?
So it says, Green Wave Utah hosted a rally on Utah's Capitol Hill on October 12th, aiming to empower women to vote and stand for their rights to reproductive care.
Yeah, we will not tolerate.
So see, in the article is tacitly acknowledging that there is such a thing to a right to what? Reproductive care, meaning what? Killing your babies.
And that's the verbiage of the progressive left, that like calling it empowerment. And oh, wow. Okay.
BYU. This is BYU.
Dude. Wow, interesting.
And look at this. Scroll down all the way to the bottom of the article if you're there.
Okay, yeah, I'm here.
It says, the Daily Universe is an educational lab tied to the curriculum and journalism sequence in the BYU School of Communications and is committed to the mission of BYU and its sponsoring institution, the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints. Wow. No, you're not.
There it
BS.
is. Ooh, okay. So what's the fallout, dude? What's the fallout? Did somebody lose their job? Is this just kind of secretly part of the, you know, I want to be friends with Mitt Romney and Governor Cox and Kamala Harris simultaneously, Utah establishment elitism pushed
Greg
under
said
the rug?
Something very interesting in his video. He said, I've noticed personal friends or just kind of like people that you keep tabs on, like, you know what Governor Cox is saying, if you go on X and follow things, you kind of know what Romney's saying. So just personal connections and knowing these people, there seems to be this, oh, Trump is mean, so I move away from Trump. But then for some reason, that anti-Trumpism, because he's mean, starts to turn into adopting the Democratic Party platform, including on issues like abortion and LGBTQ stuff.
And what's so interesting is I watched an entire episode last night with Anna Kasparian and Jillian Michaels, where they're both talking about how they have left the left because of how hard they were canceled for obvious things that should not be so hard. Jillian Michaels said, I knew there was something wrong with the left, and I've been a person on the left my entire life when I started hearing that health is a MAGA talking point. And she's like, no. I was raised by a hippie mom. Like, we were always the crunchy, weird ones, eating organic and, you know, actually doing resistance training before that was cool. And everybody thought cardio was the way to go, you know? And she says, I got lambasted. I've written articles that the mainstream media would refuse to publish, that had nothing but, you know, factual science in them, because body positivity this or women's rights that or whatever. And then Anna Kasparian, who was unfortunately assaulted in that more nefarious manner by two homeless people, was canceled as being called a racist, even though she never divulged the race of her attackers, as being anti-homeless, anti-this, anti-that, by simply saying, I was attacked. I am the victim here. And that was very much an eye-opening moment for her, apparently some 18 months ago. And so now she has famously left the left. So I think it's so interesting.
Yeah, she's like left policy wise, but tactics wise, she's just completely rejecting from what I've seen.
Sure, but all I'm saying is that you said earlier that, you know, woke is on its way out because Mormons are adopting it. And this is why I say, like, there's nothing more pathetic than a Mormon leftist, because I live with the real atheists and leftists. Like, I'm only like 5 minutes from where Charles Manson actually murdered people. You know, I'm only like 8 minutes away from where Snoop Dogg and his buddies started a riot in a theme park because they oversold the tickets. I'm only 7 minutes from, like, literally where, like, the LA riots started. Like, I know what happens. Like, I'm sorry, you cute Provo, Utah, BYU Democrat with the BLM flag. Like, you don't know the first
There's
thing.
a good amount of them.
Yeah, you don't know.
When I go back if they're still there.
It's like, bro, I got black members in my ward that were like firemen during the LA race riots, dog. Like, I mean, just... You're not gangsta. You're not like OG. You're not like tough, you know? And it's like you Richard Dawkins, like, Aleister Crowley started his nonsense only like 25 minutes from my front doorstep and developed like a whole commune of like Satanists. Like your weird little, I read the CES letter and deconstructed my faith and I'm considering I don't know, everything from Wiccan to Satanism, whatever. It's like you are nothing. You are just a child. So I look at this and I think, man, I know for a fact that it's on its way out, because by the time the pathetic Mormon version tries to adopt it, you know, it's like Cars. You know, or like old movie reels. They used to have like second run movie theaters where the movie reels would get shown in the expensive theaters first for like, you know, $10 a ticket. But then there were these second run theaters that would get the movie reels and they'd only charge like $1 a ticket. And there'd be like Tuesday matinees where it was like 50 cents to go watch a movie. And well, you know, you'd watch those reels on smaller screens with less bright projectors, and there'd be all of these scratches and scuffs on the print. And you're like, okay, this is second run. And then after the second run has used and abused them, then they make it to the poor military theaters on the military bases where they've got the Marines watching like a 6-month-old rom-com, you know, and that's all that their CO could come up with in the commissary, right? I just feel that like a lot of these cool social movements, by the time the Utahns adopt them, it's just like, it's the third run of the print. And you're just like, nah, this is old news, man. This is old news.
Which I don't think it's a bad thing for Utah to be out of the loop, actually. Just don't adopt it. If you're going to be 20 years late, just don't adopt it. Just wait. The pendulum's going to come back around and you'll be ahead of the curve. Just like stay. Don't chase it, Utah. That's not you. That's a California thing. That's a New York thing. You're Utah. Like, know your place.
Be the Empire of the West. You'll be just fine.
Yeah.
So, all right.
Utah's great.
For this and more.
Wait a second. Speaking of Utah.
Oh.
We can probably say our thing now, right?
What thing?
Something happening in Utah in a couple weeks.
Got to get the venue, but there's going to be a robust marketing for that. I believe we got the
actually gotten.
No, I know we got the venue, but there's still some details on the venue that they haven't given us yet. So that will come out shortly.
Perfect.
For this and more, please check us out at wardradio.com.